My wife and I grew up in the 60s, and this was a time when the world was afraid of the threat from the Soviet Union. In school, grade school, we would have fire drills, but we would also have bomb drills, bomb scare drills. And these weren't situations where somebody called in a bomb threat. These were times when the alarm would go off and the teacher would tell all us little kiddos to get down under our desks and to get down on our knees and tuck our heads down and put our hands over our head as though this was somehow going to keep us from dying from a nuclear blast. Now, a lot of people who grew up in this time frame ended up becoming survivalists or preppers because they actually grew up with this fear that the world was going to change any minute and they were going to have to survive on their own. Neither my wife nor I went that route. We didn't become preppers or survivalists, but we did manage to become quite self-sufficient. And it didn't help the situation much that we were poor for most of our life together. If we needed something or wanted something, chances are we were going to have to go and get it ourselves. If something broke and needed fixed, it was going to be us who repaired it. And that sort of got us in a very good spot for what we're dealing with now. I remember my washing machine broke once, and I didn't have the money to get it fixed. And my wife said, well, I looked it up on YouTube, here's how to repair it, and I tore the thing apart and I fixed it. And I was amazed. Well, now so many of us are at home and we're spending more time at home and we're trying to come up with things that we can do. And one of the things we can do that will make us feel very good about ourselves is we can fix things that are broken, things that we've been putting off forever. And what we can do is go to YouTube and look up examples of how to do things like that, and then we can tackle it ourselves. There was a time I might have been afraid to dip into this cuckoo clock, but this particular cuckoo clock, we love cuckoo clocks. We have them all over our house. This particular one, for the past year or so, has been just systematically stopping or sporadically stopping. And rather than try and fix it, I have just started it up again, set the time, start it up and let it go, and hope it works. And sure enough, a day or two later, it stops and I go through the same thing all over again. Well, now I have time at home because we're not supposed to be on the road. We're not supposed to go anywhere unless it is an emergency or an essential need. Getting my cuckoo clock fixed certainly isn't an essential need, so I thought, well, I'll take this time, since I'm home anyhow, and I'll work on it. Now, I don't know much about cuckoo clocks. Actually, I don't know anything about cuckoo clocks. So what I did was I took it apart and I cleaned it. I used some air and I blew dust out of it. It had some cobwebs in there, and all of the joints I oiled. We'll see if it works or not. Only time will tell. No pun intended. But my point is, take time to work on things around the house. Occupy your hands, occupy your mind, do things. Not only if you fix things on your own, will they work and you'll get it done for a lot less money than hiring someone. You'll feel good about yourself. You'll feel good about what you've done. Now, I have a question for you before I go. Cuckoo clocks cuckoo every time the hour comes around. So for 1 o'clock, cuckoo will cuckoo one time. For 2 o'clock, it cuckoos twice, and so on, all the way up to 12. For 12 o'clock, it will actually cuckoo 12 times. So here's the question. In a 24-hour period, what amount of the cuckoos happens the most? So each hour, it's going to cuckoo that amount of times. And we're going to count that as one. So for 1 through 12, each of those will count as one time. 24-hour period counts as 2 times. But one of these numbers happens to cuckoo 26 times. The rest, all of them, cuckoo 2 times. 2 times their number in a 24-hour period. So which one of these numbers cuckoos 26 times in a 24-hour period? Write it in the comment section below. Let me know. In the meantime, be good to yourself, be good to your family, be good to your neighbors, and just be good. It's all we can do. We'll get through this.